Steve Moran here at the Senior Living Innovation Forum in the Palm Springs area, and we are also happy to be back together visiting and learning and growing and inspiring. I'm here with my good friend Lynne Katzmann, fellow Burning Man. Really, she was
fellow
this
camper
at Aging Insurrection.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. And I'm keep looking forward to doing that again, although I'm sort of leaning more towards trying to figure out how to do more of a glam.
RV,
yes, exactly.
I think I'm with you.
Yeah, so
with the bathroom, we don't have to walk down.
Yeah, for sure, we'd want to have our own because the bathrooms truly, they're outhouse and they truly are disgusting. And so even if it's our
Nobody
own.
will come with us if we tell
No,
them
the
about
bathrooms are. We're going to have a beautiful bathroom that you're going to love. It'll be better than. It'll be like the hotel.
It will.
Yes. So that's right. So I want to actually, but the thing I'm really fascinated, I'm spending a lot of time thinking about right now is leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got this idea that the difference between great organizations, mediocre and bad organizations is leadership. I mean, that's sort of a obvious, almost duh statement. But more specifically than that, I think it really comes down to asking this question: how do good leaders look at really three things? Their mission, and maybe within that is how do you then convey your mission to your team members and to your customers, and then how do they look at team members, and how do they look at their customers, which in this case is residents. And so let's start by just talking a little bit about your mission and how you think about your mission, what your mission is, and how you convey that to residents, and maybe secondarily to team members, and secondarily to residents.
Yeah, I want to go back.
Okay.
Leadership is a really important topic, and regardless of who spoke today and who will speak later, people in our industry make a huge difference, whether you're a resident, a team member, or a leader. The ability of that individual to understand the people and the situation that they're in and then take appropriate action on that is key. So people are the key in my mind, and leadership is the key to putting together a team of really good people. So that's a given. Now, when we started looking at leadership and mission, we went to Jim Collins' work, Good to Great. And what Jim Collins did is he gave us two things that really make a difference for us at Juniper. Number one, he had this thing called the hedgehog concept. And the hedgehog concept is nothing more than the confluence of three things: what you're passionate about, your mission, what you're best in the world at, how you differentiate yourself, and what is your economic driver. So those three things, where those three things intersect, you have a hedgehog concept. And he says it really doesn't matter if you have all this extraneous stuff. You need to know what you care about. And you need to know how you're going to deliver on that differently than anyone else. And you need to know how that's going to fuel the growth of your company. So that's the hedgehog concept. The second thing that he talked about that had importance to us is he defined good leadership. He called it level 5 leadership. And at Juniper, we've taken that and kind of distilled it down to a couple of things. It revolves around personal humility, the ability to be a servant leader, and being solution oriented. So understanding that there will always be problems and things you have to address, but it's what you do about them. So I recommend to any of your listeners, in addition to reading your new work, to also take a look at that, because it was really seminal for us in how we began to link people and mission. So now going back to mission, your question for me specifically is what?
So my question is, well, let's actually start and talk about what your mission is.
Okay.
And but I think it's important to knowing what your mission is how do you reinforce, how do you convey that mission, and how do you indoctrinate your mission in your team?
Yeah. So our mission is very simple. It's our tagline: nurturing the spirit of life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what does nurturing the spirit of life mean? It means something which is bigger than caring. Nurturing is a term that's often associated with women and motherhood. And we didn't define it that way for that reason. But nurturing is bigger. It's taking care of someone's whole person. It's not just caring for your body, but it's thinking about how we allow you to be the person you want to be. So nurturing the spirit of life is nurturing what makes you you. And, to the conversations we've had here with purpose, all of that, Juniper's mission has always been around understanding an individual and helping them live the life they choose to live now. So that's our mission. Now, how have we communicated that? Well, if it's our tagline, it's very clear that we've communicated that in a simple way. We spend a lot of time talking about culture and how mission drives our culture. So everyone who comes into the company gets a culture orientation. And that's done either by me, depending on where they fit in the company, or by the executive director of a community. And it happens the first day. It's the first thing we talk about. And if you were to look at our applications, you'll see there's a little blurb in the written application that says, we're not for everyone. This is what we believe in. And there are a lot of different beliefs about things, and we accept those, we admire them, but this is who we are. And if you feel that this speaks to you, come be part of our family. So I hope that gives you a sense of what we do.
I really love that a lot. So, and you've sort of already answered this, but I want to go a little bit deeper. So you've gone through your day, you've been working, and you're maybe sitting and contemplating, or maybe you just laid down in bed and you're laying there and you're thinking about your team. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking how lucky I am, how very lucky I am. My close-in team, the team I work with every day, is 6 people. And all of those people have been with Juniper for a very long time, some over 25 years. And so clearly our mission and our culture speaks to people. And I am very grateful for that. Okay. I really am.
So same question. But when you're laying there and you're thinking about your residents and perhaps resident families.
Yep. What do I think about? I think about how important it is to have a leader at a community who can build a team that can manage change and can be open to solving problems in a positive way. More importantly, we need people who can listen and who can communicate.
Cool.
That's what we need. We need great leaders. And Steve, the hard part is what worked 5 years ago is not necessarily what we need now. And so it's for some people, it's very much an evolving set of skills.
So I've known you for probably, 8 or 9 years. Yeah. You were one of the sort of my first boosters and supporters, which I really appreciate. And I can remember we had dinner one night together in Los Angeles. Yeah. First time we'd ever met. And I was, honestly, I was very nervous about it because you were such, you're such an important force in the industry. No, I was just, I was excited and scared, and it was a wonderful experience. But I'd like to actually talk a little bit about the future of senior living. Yep. I mean, it changed. So what I started to say is I've watched you have evolved, how you're operating so much since that time I first met you. And you've done lots of experiments and you've changed. And so this morning, Bob Kramer sort of took the whole industry to task. Yeah. Pretty hard.
Totally.
And there was a little bit of pushback. And so talk to me about what you see in the future of senior living.
Well, I think there are a couple of things that Bob said, and one of which I think is incredibly important, which is we have a responsibility as an industry to change, but it is bigger than us. It's a societal issue on ageism. It's an understanding at the public policy level that this demographic has different needs than the demographic for which the original policies were put in place. And so what Bob is saying is somebody's got to get out there and educate people, and I think he was 100% right. We need to be leaders, but we will not be alone in that process.